Thank you.
Quick question, how many action movies have you skipped just because the reviews weren't great, and then later found out they were actually awesome? Hey, I'm Jenny, and today we're counting down 10 underrated action movies you probably skipped, but really shouldn't have. These are the kind of movies that didn't get the hype they deserved, but if you're in the mood for gunfights, hand-to-hand combat, and pure adrenaline, this list delivers. Some of these are gritty and grounded, some are loud and chaotic, and a few go way harder than anyone expected. So if you're looking for action that actually hits, without scrolling for an hour, you're in the right place. Let's start the countdown.
No one knows who I am.
At number 10, we're starting with an action thriller that feels familiar, but still manages to surprise you, Honest Thief. Liam Neeson plays Tom Carter, a professional bank robber who's so good at his job that he's earned a very specific nickname, the In-N-Out Bandit. He plans his heists perfectly, never hurts anyone, and disappears without a trace. But after falling in love, Tom decides he wants out. He does the unthinkable, he contacts the FBI himself, offering to return every dollar he stole in exchange for a reduced sentence and a clean slate. Simple. Honest. Or at least, it should be. Because the agents sent to handle the deal see an opportunity to take the money for themselves, and suddenly, Tom isn't turning himself in anymore. He's being hunted. What makes Honest Thief work is how grounded the action feels. There are no superheroes here. No insane gadgets. Just close-quarters gunfights, tense standoffs, and a man using experience and instinct to stay one step ahead of people who seriously underestimated him. Liam Neeson brings that calm, dangerous energy he's known for, not loud, not flashy, just controlled and relentless. Every time things escalate, you can feel the pressure building, because one mistake means prison, or worse. This is the kind of action movie that flew under the radar because it doesn't reinvent the genre, it just executes it really well. Tight pacing, solid action, and a simple story that keeps moving. If you skipped this one thinking it was just another Liam Neeson movie, yeah, that's exactly why it earns the number 10 spot.
Our flight has gone down. This is an emergency.
Survive together or die alone.
We're getting off this island.
At number 9, we have an action thriller that sounds simple on paper, and then immediately turns brutal, Plane. Gerard Butler stars as Brody Torrance, a commercial airline pilot just trying to get his passengers safely through a storm on New Year's Eve. But when a lightning strike cripples the aircraft mid-flight, he's forced to make an emergency landing on an island controlled by violent militias. The passengers survive the crash. The landing is the easy part. Because within minutes, armed groups surround the wreckage, taking hostages and turning a routine flight into a fight for survival. And suddenly, a pilot who's trained to stay calm at 30,000 feet has to become something else entirely. What makes Plane so effective is how fast it escalates. There's no long setup, no drawn-out mystery, the danger is immediate, constant, and unforgiving. Every decision Brody makes has consequences, and every wrong move could get someone killed. The action here is gritty and grounded. Gunfights feel messy and desperate. Injuries actually matter. And the tension never lets up because help is days away, if it's coming at all. One of the film's smartest choices is pairing Butler's pilot with a convicted murderer who was being transported on the same flight. Their uneasy alliance adds an extra layer of tension, forcing trust between two men who would normally be on opposite sides of the law. Plane didn't get a ton of hype, but it's exactly the kind of action movie that keeps you locked in, straightforward, intense, and surprisingly suspenseful from start to finish. If you skipped this one because the title sounded generic, trust me, the movie is anything but. A tight survival action thriller that earns the number 9 spot.
Thank you.
At number 8, we have an action movie that hits fast, hits hard, and completely blindsided a lot of people, Upgrade. This one starts brutally. Gray Trace is a mechanic in a near-future world where technology controls everything. After a violent attack leaves his wife dead and Gray himself paralyzed, his life is effectively over. He can't walk, he can't work, and he's trapped inside his own body. Until he's offered an experimental cure. A microchip implant called STEM, an advanced AI that can take control of his nervous system. The moment it activates, Gray can move again. But more importantly, he can fight. What follows is one of the most savage revenge arcs you'll see in a modern action movie. Stem doesn't just assist Gray, it overrides him, calculating perfect combat moves in real time. Arms snap, bones shatter, enemies go down in seconds. And the way the action is filmed makes it feel completely different. The camera locks to Gray's body as Stem takes over, creating this eerie, almost mechanical fighting style that feels both controlled and terrifying. But Upgrade isn't just about action, it's about control. Gray starts to realize that every time he lets Stem help him, he's giving up a little more of himself. The lines between man and machine begin to blur, and the question becomes, who's really in charge? The fights are brutal. The pacing is relentless. And the movie never pulls its punches, emotionally or physically. This is the kind of action movie that people skipped because it didn't have a massive marketing push. But once you see it, it sticks with you. Stylish, violent, and surprisingly smart, Upgrade absolutely earns the number 8 spot. At number 7, we have an action movie that looks sleek on the surface, and absolutely hurts underneath, Atomic Blonde. Charlize Theron plays Lorraine Broughton, a top-level MI6 agent sent into Berlin during the final days of the Cold War. The city is divided, trust is non-existent, and everyone she meets has an agenda, usually a deadly one. From the very first scene, the movie makes one thing clear: this is not clean, effortless action. Every punch lands hard. Every fight is exhausting. And Lorraine doesn't walk away untouched. She bleeds. She struggles. She barely survives, and that's exactly what makes the action feel so real. The standout moment is a nearly 10-minute stairwell fight scene that feels like it never lets you breathe. No flashy cuts. No superhero physics. Just raw, desperate combat where pain stacks up with every step. What really sets Atomic Blonde apart is its atmosphere. Neon lights. Rain-soaked streets. Thumping 80s music masking a constant sense of danger. You never know who's lying, who's watching, or who's about to turn on her next. Charlize Theron fully commits, turning Lorraine into a lethal, calculating force who survives not by being invincible, but by being smarter, tougher, and more ruthless than everyone else in the room. This movie didn't get the recognition it deserved when it came out, but for action fans, it's a hidden gem, stylish without being shallow, brutal without being mindless. If you skipped Atomic Blonde, thinking it was all style and no substance, this one hits way harder than you expect. A vicious, beautifully shot action thriller that earns the number 7 spot. At number 6, we have an action movie that wastes absolutely no time reminding you how brutal it plans to be, Extraction. Chris Hemsworth stars as Tyler Rake, a black market mercenary hired to rescue the kidnapped son of a powerful crime lord. The mission sounds straightforward, until everything goes wrong within minutes of him stepping into the city. What follows is chaos. Extraction is built on relentless momentum. Gunfights explode in narrow alleyways. Cars crash through crowded streets. And hand-to-hand combat is fast, savage, and unforgiving. This is not polished action, it's messy, desperate, and exhausting in the best way. The movie's most talked about moment is its massive, near single-take action sequence that stretches across rooftops, stairwells, vehicles, and close-quarters fights without letting up. It feels less like watching a stunt, and more like surviving one. But beneath the non-stop violence, there's something heavier going on. Tyler isn't just fighting enemies, he's running from his own grief. The job becomes personal, and protecting the kidnapped boy forces him to confront the pain he's been avoiding for years. That emotional weight gives the action real stakes. Every hit hurts more. Every choice matters. And as the situation spirals, you start to realize that not everyone is going to make it out alive. When Extraction dropped on Netflix, a lot of people dismissed it as just another loud action movie. But if you actually sit down and watch it, the choreography, intensity, and commitment put it above most modern action thrillers. Hard-hitting, relentless, and surprisingly emotional, Extraction more than earns the number 6 spot.
Why were they here?
They responded to a robbery.
Shot fired! Shot fired! Officer down!
At number 5, we have a gritty, high-stakes action thriller that feels like a throwback to classic city hunt movies, 21 Bridges. Chadwick Boseman stars as Andre Davis, a tough NYPD detective with a reputation for getting results, no matter the cost. When a drug bust goes violently wrong and 8 police officers are killed in a single night, Davis is brought in to lead the manhunt. And this time, there's no escape. For the first time in history, every bridge in and out of Manhattan is shut down. No trains. No tunnels. No way off the island. The city becomes a pressure cooker, and the clock starts ticking. What makes 21 Bridges stand out is its pacing. The movie unfolds over one long, relentless night, where every lead feels urgent and every encounter inches closer to something bigger and darker than a simple chase. The action is tight and grounded. Street-level gunfights, foot chases through crowded neighborhoods, sudden bursts of violence that feel chaotic and real. And as Davis digs deeper, he begins to realize the truth might be far more dangerous than the criminals he's hunting. There's a steady sense of paranoia running through the film. Allies feel unreliable, orders don't add up, and the line between cop and criminal starts to blur in uncomfortable ways. Chadwick Boseman brings a calm intensity to the role, carrying the movie with quiet authority and moral tension. You can feel the weight of every decision he makes as the city closes in around him. 21 Bridges didn't make a huge splash when it was released, but it's a solid, underrated action thriller that delivers tension, momentum, and atmosphere all the way through. A sharp, no-nonsense manhunt that earns the number 5 spot. At number 4, we have an action thriller that feels quiet at first, and then hits like a freight train, Rebel Ridge. This story follows Terry Richmond, a former Marine who returns to a small town hoping for a fresh start. But almost immediately, he runs headfirst into a deeply corrupt local system, crooked cops, abuse of power, and a justice system designed to crush anyone who pushes back. And Terry doesn't push back loudly. He pushes back effectively. What makes Rebel Ridge so intense is its restraint. The movie doesn't rush into explosions or endless shootouts. Instead, it builds tension through confrontation, intimidation, and the constant threat of violence waiting just under the surface. When the action finally breaks loose, it's precise and devastating. Terry fights like someone who knows exactly what he's doing, controlled, efficient, and absolutely dangerous. Every move feels intentional. Every strike feels earned. The film leans heavily into realism. There's no flashy heroics here. Just pressure, escalation, and a man refusing to be broken by a system stacked against him. And the more the town tries to trap him, the more they expose how badly they underestimated him. Rebel Ridge flew under the radar for a lot of viewers, but it's one of those action movies that sticks with you because it feels real. The stakes aren't global, they're personal. And that makes every moment hit harder. By the time the story reaches its final stretch, the tension is suffocating, and the payoff is incredibly satisfying. A smart, grounded, and quietly brutal action thriller that earns the number 4 spot. At number 3, we have an action movie that doesn't ease you in, it throws you straight into the chaos. This is Havoc. Tom Hardy stars as a hardened detective fighting his way through a city drowning in corruption. After a drug deal goes violently wrong, he's forced to dive deep into the criminal underworld to rescue a politician's estranged son, while every side is hunting him at the same time. And from that moment on, the movie barely lets you breathe. Havoc is raw, relentless, and unapologetically brutal. The action is up close and personal, bone-crunching fistfights, frantic shootouts, and narrow escapes through dark, rain-soaked streets. There's no clean choreography here, just desperation, rage, and survival. What really sets Havoc apart is its tone. The city feels hostile. Every location feels dangerous. And every character seems like they're one bad decision away from snapping. You never feel safe, not even for a second. Tom Hardy brings a feral intensity to the role. His character doesn't talk much, doesn't explain himself, and doesn't ask for forgiveness. He just keeps moving forward, no matter how bloody things get. As the story unfolds, layers of corruption are peeled back, revealing a system that's rotten all the way through. And the deeper he goes, the clearer it becomes, there's no clean way out of this mess. Havoc isn't flashy. It's not trying to be stylish or clever. It's built to overwhelm you with tension and force you to sit with the violence. If this one slipped past your radar, it's easily one of the most intense modern action films to come out in recent years. A punishing, high-impact descent into chaos that earns the number 3 spot.
You okay? 'Cause you don't look okay.
At number 2, we have an action movie that completely rewrote expectations, Nobody. Bob Odenkirk plays Hutch Mansell, a quiet, overlooked suburban dad living a painfully ordinary life. He doesn't argue. He doesn't fight back. And when his house gets robbed, he does absolutely nothing. Everyone thinks he's weak. They're wrong. That single moment of restraint opens the door to a past Hutch has been desperately trying to bury, a past tied to violence, training, and a reputation that once made very dangerous people nervous. When he finally snaps, the movie transforms. What follows is pure, brutal, crowd-pleasing action. The now iconic bus fight alone is enough to sell this movie: raw, exhausting, and shockingly violent. No flashy moves. No perfect choreography. Just pain, rage, and survival. What makes nobody stand out is how grounded it feels. Hutch gets hurt. He bleeds. He struggles. And every fight looks like it takes everything he has just to stay on his feet. The action feels earned, and that makes it hit harder. The movie leans into dark humor without undercutting the violence, balancing fun and brutality in a way few action films manage to pull off. And watching Bob Odenkirk fully commit to this role only makes it more satisfying. Nobody flew under the radar for a lot of viewers who didn't expect this kind of performance or intensity. But once it gets going, it never lets up. A lean, mean, unexpectedly vicious action movie that absolutely deserves the number 2 spot.
What's going over there?
You're really ruining my flow right now, you know that.
And finally, at number 1, we have an action movie that most people wrote off way too quickly: 6 Underground. Directed by Michael Bay and starring Ryan Reynolds, this movie is loud, chaotic, and completely unapologetic about it. And that's exactly why it works. The story follows 6 highly skilled operatives who fake their own deaths to work outside the law. No rules. No governments. No consequences, at least on paper. Their mission? Take down the worst criminals in the world using methods no official agency would ever approve. From the opening minutes, 6 Underground makes it clear what kind of ride you're in for. The opening car chase alone is pure madness: high-speed crashes, insane stunts, and non-stop momentum that barely gives you time to breathe. What makes this movie underrated is how self-aware it is. It doesn't pretend to be realistic or subtle. It leans fully into excess, explosive action, over-the-top set pieces, and sharp, fast-talking humor that keeps the energy high. Ryan Reynolds brings his signature charisma, but the movie doesn't rely on jokes alone. The action is constant, the stakes keep escalating, and the team dynamic adds just enough heart to balance out the chaos. A lot of viewers skipped this one because of mixed reviews, but if you go in expecting pure, high-octane action, it absolutely delivers. This is the kind of movie you throw on when you want adrenaline, not subtlety. Explosions. Gunfights. Insane stunts. No breaks. 6 Underground may not be subtle, but as an all-out action experience, it earns the number 1 spot. And that's our list: 10 underrated action movies you probably skipped, but absolutely shouldn't. If you're in the mood for relentless fights, high-stakes chases, and action that actually hits hard, there's something on this list for you tonight. If you enjoyed hanging out and talking movies with me, make sure you're subscribed to Watch with Jenny. This channel is all about finding great movies together. No overthinking, just pressing play and enjoying the ride. Let me know in the comments which one you're watching first, and which one you're saving for a night when you just want pure chaos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.